I will guide thee. I will guide thee. I will guide thee with thine eyes all the way from earth to heaven. I will guide thee with mine eye. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot preach like Paul, you can tell I say he fly for all. I will guide thee. I will guide thee with my earth to heaven. I will guide thee with thine eyes. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot preach like Jay, you can spread the love of Jesus. You can say, let's start the show.
Ready for takeoff?
Whoa. Working hard on my stump, what's the problem? I ain't had shit to show, being modest. Now it's grams of the wax for my conscience. Brown James in LA, you're on college. I've been jumping on them planes like a hobby. Still moving with the pack like my partners. Shut the John on them jets cause we wildin'. But the bowl is a party on the island, moment of silence. So good, get back to the topic. Grew up, it was me and Flocka. Grandma's and Big T, this my mama. I ain't even for the pain when my pops flipped. Knew his name, that's it, never bothered. Mom said, you the man, son, you got this. Ever since I found a way to go and pop shit. Hold up, blaze through a whole zip. Took a seat at the table of my first flip. Days in red roof with my first whip. Spent the money with the gang, never post pics. Seen the change in the game, had to coach it. Never let them take my wangs in the mold, bitch. Ever made in a month, nigga. Used to serve him at the minute just to front, nigga. Goddamn. Had to grow up quick, I made my own rules.
Please welcome your host. He is the wise man of the Sacred Death Motorcycle Club. He is the sexiest man in all of word wrestling entertainment. He is the most entertaining man in the history of evolutionary biology. He is the virtual visionary, Mr. Dual PhD himself. Please give it up for the architect of the atheist apocalypse, the only man to have his vestments blessed by Pine Creek, the most high apostle of the cult of the flying man. He is none other than the outlaw prince, the one and only Jesus who can save us, Dr. Heartbreak J. Pocket Locker Funday. Think I'm cute. I know know I'm sexy. I've got the look that drives the girls while I got the moves that really move them. I send chills up and down their spines. I'm just a sexy boy. What are you doing? Why are you sleeping? I'm trying to start a show here. The sexy boy is here. The United States champion of World Wrestling Entertainment is here. And I demand your motherfucking attention, dog. I make them hot. I make them shiver. They just get weak whenever I'm around. They see me walk. They hear me talk. I make them feel like their God ain't real. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. Oh yeah. I'm just a sexy boy. Woo! I'm not your boy. I said wake up and pay attention to me. Woo! Eat your heart out, girl. That mic flip though. Hands off the merchandise. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. Welcome everybody to a very special edition of, is it even late night yet? It ain't late night yet. Nobody cares. It's the Pocket Locker Podcast. We're chilling. Let me see what's up here. Give out some pocket change. I see Notorious in the house. What's up? What's up, Sacred baby? All right, let's see who was first. I got Carrie Ann Chrysler was first. All right, look, let's go ahead and play some music. Y'all already know. Time to catch a vibe before we get the program going. Look, we're going to rock with It's airplanemode.com. This one's available on the Essentials playlist. The Essentials playlist is available on Spotify and Apple Music. You can find it in our Discord under music. This one's called Link Up With the Gang. I know, Cameron, I got to get you the track. This nigga OG Roddy, he called me the other day. I'm going to get it to you this week.
Zach? OG, I throw up the plate, and then he go get the cake. Then we link up with the gang, gang, gang. OG, I throw up the plate, and then he go get the cake.
Melody Joy was
then
first.
We link up with the gang, gang, gang. OG, I throw up the plate, and then he go get the cake. Then we link up with the gang, gang, gang. OG, I throw up the plate, and then he go get the cake. Then we link up with the gang, gang, gang. OG, I throw up the plate.
Carrie Ann Chrysler, second.
Thought I get money, you change. What you thought we was the same? Still stay away from them clones. Niggas better leave me alone. Talking about niggas is low. Dude, run with niggas who don't know you. Whoa, I make that zagging when city to city. You niggas not hot in your state. If it was money to get a hit Henny, we get it and never complain. Same go for the gang.
Third, Sacred Notorious.
I can't really eat, let's stay straight.
250,000 pocket change.
My thing was from back in the day.
They still hang around me today?
You wanna come round us, you can't. I'm
Roll up loud is great.
But mama, she bad but complain. Cause I'm too in love with my dreams. And I gotta get on the plane and go get this money with OG, I draw up the plate. And then he go get the cake. Then
Appreciate you. We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon.
And then he go get the cake. Then we'll link up with the gang. Gang. OG, I draw up the plate. And then he go get the cake. Then we link up with the gang. Gang. OG, I draw up the plate. And then he go get the cake. Then we'll link up with the gang. Gang.
I get the bag with the gang. Money. Taking that Zach to the bank. Henny be all in my drink. You niggas is stupid, you think that should change? You not even hot in your gang. Ain't nothing even hot about your gang. You niggas be lying about same. Be posting them pictures of guns for the fame. Niggas just look at me different now. Say that's your man, but he a clown. Don't fuck around with the fuck around. Little nigga, you should cut it out. Me and my niggas gang, gang. Punch a bitch nigga all in his mouth. Hold up my nigga, we different now. I need a Robert, this is my style. I get a check today, I spent it all tomorrow. I get a bitch today, she probably a foreign model. I get a check today, I spent it all tomorrow. I'm with my gang today, tomorrow never promise.
OG, I draw up the plate, and then he go get the cake. Then we link up with the gang. OG, I draw up the plate, and then he go get the cake. Then we link up with the gang. OG, I draw up the plate, and then he go get the cake. Then we link up with the gang. OG, I draw up the plate, and then he go get the cake. Then we link up with the gang.
Yes. Link up with the gang. All right. This damn bell fell. Y'all already know what time it is. Actually, let's go. Let me change. Let me make a little improv switcheroo here with the worship team. Send them a little special request for the communion song. All right, here we go, y'all. Please get ready for the communion hymn. Please raise your glasses and hold on to your asses. Would you say it isn't even 4 o'clock Eastern? Nobody gives a shit. Go fuck yourselves. Through him, with him, in the unity of the flying man. All glory and honor is yours who flied for our sins forever and ever. You may drink. That's how you do communion right there. Oh, yeah. All right, y'all. Kick back, relax, say hi to your neighbors. We should be going with the MJ interlude for communion, but instead we're going to hit them with our Cheers theme song.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? All those nights when you've got no lights, the check is in the mail, and your little angel hung the cat up by its tail, and your third fiancé didn't show. Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Come on, y'all.
And they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name.
Oh, yeah.
Roll out of bed, Mr. Coffee's dead. The morning's looking bright.
That's right.
And your shrink ran off to Europe and didn't even write. And your husband wants to be a girl.
At least he admitted
it. There's one place in the world where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna go where people know people are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name. Where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. Where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad
Oh,
you
yeah.
came. Where everybody knows your name,
Oh, yeah.
and they're always glad you came.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff. All right, folks, time to get back into it. Jump into it. Y'all know I happen to be part of this wonderful crew, and we are taking over the internet. Get frustrated with people not understanding, doubting, having to remind people that the goddamn internet is mine. I don't want to have to remind that the internet is mine. And there are just so many categories that I'm tackling. You know, fastest rising, GTA, MC community, role playing, left-handed wise man on YouTube. Most entertaining man in the history of evolutionary biology. I mean, there's just no competition out here. Counter-Apologetics, just going crazy. Definitely the fastest rising star in Counter-Apologetics. I mean, the U.S. champion. I headlined the most must-see, most talked about main event matchup this summer. That being my first showdown with Ken Hovind. The David Blackman show, just taking over the world of political commentary, right-wing trolling, and just so many things that I do. But time right now to get back to one of my favorites, a passion project, if you will. Something I take seriously beyond the levels of anybody else. No, and it's just for the culture. Hashtag for the culture. It's all for the culture, all right? It is time to do the thing that I am better at leading people at than anyone on the planet. You want some shit to fight about? Fight me on this shit, nigga. What? I'll fight a motherfucker over it. What? Fuck your shit up over this shit. It is time to Arm Brown and Chill. Hey,
What's
baby,
that?
you wanna
Oh,
come
hey,
over
guys,
some
welcome to
Arm
the
Brown and
program.
Chill?
Hey, what's up, Trads? Hey, what's up?
All right, guys, I just gave you the secrets. You guys know I'm a dating coach, trying to help you motherfuckers get laid. A lot of you guys are quite unattractive in the mirror, Need a little help. All right, it's okay. I understand. Okay? Can't all be fucking goddesses out here, all right? So what you do is you pull up on Shorty, You pull up on him, right? I definitely know what that means. And you pull up on him and you just go, hey, you want to Arm Brown and Chill? That's it. That's how you seal the deal right there.
Trads?
Well, ladies and germs, it's time to continue our
Ladies
descent
and germs, pretty much.
into online lunacy by taking a look at some of our favorite lunatics.
Some of our favorite online goons.
They go by the name of, I believe they call themselves the Daily Weirdos.
So
Then-
because
Oh,
of the
boy, oh, God. Okay, sorry.
investigation of our friend Matt Walsh here at Daily...
Wait, hold on a second. What do we got here?
Yep. We're good to see Cameron now.
So because of the investigation
Cameron was late. I acknowledge your comment late.
and some of the people who work with him,
Mhm.
Tennessee Republican Governor Bill Lee has now called for an investigation of the pediatric transgender clinic at Vanderbilt University Medical Center.
Oh,
This comes after shocking videos were posted by Matt Walsh detailing a doctor's promotion of the big moneymaker transgender surgeries.
Wow.
The videos also show apparent threats made against
Hey guys, should I get like a Pocket Lager 86, big kind of decal here, do the show from a laptop? Whose idea was this?
medical professionals at Vanderbilt University Medical Center if they objected to the procedures, even for religious reasons.
So this is the new kind of interesting, what would we call it, like an activity or a way to keep themselves busy over at the Daily Pervert, is their new thing seems to be to send their kind of confused viewers to harass hospital workers, I guess is the new thing now. Tucker Carlton's been doing this too, like putting actual, like the names of doctors who work at hospitals where I guess they do transgender surgeries. I can't quite figure out why they're doing this, but I do think maybe it is a way for them to sort of contribute to the community, which is that since they don't have real jobs, Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson, Matt Welsh, all these guys never had real jobs, never even had a whiff of what it's like to have a real job. What they're doing, how they're contributing, and I think this is actually very beautiful, what they're doing to contribute to society is, hey, people who have already challenging jobs like hospital workers, we're going to make things a little harder for you by sending our fans to harass and bother you and send bomb threats to you just to kind of keep you on your toes. And I think that's,
we want our hospital workers to be on their toes.
And it really is stunning material.
Oh, wow.
So, for example, Vanderbilt openly says they've worked on individuals who begin gender-affirming hormones at the age of 13.
Oh.
And it says this on their website.
Wow.
Quote, previously recommended start at age 16, but consider starting as early as 14 years old.
Oh, okay.
By gender-affirming hormones, what we mean here is sex-altering hormones.
Oh, wow.
Or at least
Yes. If a fucking kid knows early as fuck that they want to change genders, let's get to this bitch. You understand what I'm saying to you? Y'all, and it's a difference too. Like what they want you to think is that like I'll give y'all an example. There was one time in the 8th grade, right? Just around that age, right? 14, right? 13, 14, where I cross-dressed for Halloween. Yup, that's right. You gotta watch the show, y'all. If you don't tune in at 4 p.m. on a Monday, you might just fucking miss the story about where I cross-dressed, put on my mother's clothes and shit, right? What these motherfuckers want you to think is that, like, that's going to happen. I'm like, hey, Mom, can I wear your dress to this Halloween party? By the way, I won best costume, right? Hey, Mom, can I wear your dress to this Halloween costume party? And she's like, yeah, sure. And she helps me put the outfit together. And then the next thing you know, I'm going to be getting gender-affirming surgery, right? This is just absurd, dude.
these secondary sex characteristic altering hormones. And
what's really interesting and beautiful about this, like, these kind of transgender videos and the panicking about transgender people is how new it is. This whole thing is actually very innovative and new because, you go back a handful of decades and it was like, oh, integration. My kids, if my kids have to go to a school with black people, they're going to get my kids. They're going to get my kids. And then it was gay people are going to get my kids. But this is different. This is different.
But then in a lecture during Vanderbilt's LGBTQ Health Grand Rounds lecture series, which live streamed to Facebook but was viewed by almost nobody at the time, Dr. Taylor was a bit more detailed in explaining the hospital's actual motivations for expanding into quote-unquote transgender care.
Oh, wow.
In fact, she said that she personally helped to convince the institution to make the move, based in part because she claims it's the right thing to do, but also in large part because gender affirmation surgeries are, quote, big money makers.
Whoa.
She boasted that a phalloplasty, which is the construction of an artificial penis, which
hey now, you're an all-star.
cut from other parts of the body. She said that those could be worth $100,000 when you factor in all of the follow-ups.
Oh.
Shit, I'm broke. Take mine. You know what I'm saying? It's hard out here, y'all.
Necessary.
Wow.
Listen.
Okay.
Starting in January 1st of 2017, according to the Affordable Care Act, insurance carriers are mandated to cover medical expenses. These surgeries make a lot of money. So female to male chest reconstruction can bring in $40,000 A patient just on routine hormone treatment, who I'm only seeing a few times a year, can bring in several $1,000s because that requires a lot of visits and labs. It actually makes money for the
Is she a fucking?
This thing has
please tell
gone
me
kind of
you're not an
viral, and he was even on the
anti-trans
Tucker Carlstone show.
Cutting the breasts off little girls?
Whoa!
Sterilizing 14-year-olds? Like, yeah, okay. Yeah, we're not the criminals here. And by the way, I've got to believe that not everyone on the board at Vanderbilt Medical Center is a bad person. I've got to believe a lot of these people had no idea this was happening.
So we got to kind of hand it to Matt Warch on this one because, like, this is actually pretty good propaganda. You get this video. I don't know where he dug up this video. He says it was a Facebook live stream, which these shadowy people, they want to hide this, so they Facebook live streamed it. Walsh on Wednesday posted a series of videos on Twitter he said were taken in 2018 and 2020, including one featuring Vanderbilt physician Dr. Shane blah, 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 calling gender transition surgery a, quote, big money maker. Some procedures, which are covered by the Affordable Care Act, could bring in up to 40 G's. Wow. And others could cost 100 G's. Wow. Here's an interesting little note. Taylor does not refer to children in the video clip Walsh posted. It's weird because he's connecting it to children the whole time. That's kind of interesting. But it is pretty good because it is kind of shocking. They're like, look at how much money we can make off of transgender surgeries, okay?
We did find a doctor
who talks about how she convinced Nashville to get into the gender transition game to begin with. And she says that, yeah, she told him it's the right thing to do, but also in large part, it's a big moneymaker, which were her exact words. And she goes into some of the details about how much money there is to be made from this. And one of the
So I guess with the Daily Wire, who now I'm really pissed off at because they're the type of dirty communists, and many say
dirty
not me, who believe that this disgusting profit motive should be taken out of the healthcare system. I disagree. Because what's that guy's name? Adam Smith. Is it Adam Smith or Adam Levine? Which is the guy who wrote the book? Time to go
from my classroom to my card room.
I guess what they're saying is like, look, life as a transgender person is probably hard enough already. You know, why would we make it even harder for them to have to pay, $100,000 or whatever, $50,000?
Wait, I saw something I needed to fix earlier.
Through all these insurance hoops to get the medical attention they need. No. That should be taken out of the market. That's what I'm reading what they're saying. And as a
Republican,
I call myself, I am pretty pissed off right now. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm a Daily Wire subscriber, back behind the scenes or whatever. They're going to be hearing from me. Let me just leave it there. I'll just leave it there for now because you don't want to hear the details. It's gonna get.
I should put the crazy games
just by their phalloplasties, and that is like a fraction of the surgeries that they're doing.
So much money to be made in carving the flesh off of a young girl's forearm.
Whoa!
Or the
she never said young girl, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Interior of her thigh and forming a fake non-working penis.
Whoa!
So much money to be made, but this is immoral. According to, again, our great elites.
I mean, this is really shocking to have to hear these guys soil and sully the free market like this,
Today on the Matt Walsh Show.
Whoa! Calm down, Matt. Okay, go ahead.
Children's hospitals around the country are butchering, mutilating, and sterilizing their young patients. So according to Boston Children's Hospital, literally every toddler who has ever been born or will ever be born is trans.
Whoa! Is that true? Wow.
What? Wipe your ass with them.
What, the kids?
Wipe your ass with them.
Jesus, Emma.
Now, if it seems like they're casting the widest imaginable net in order to catch the most children they can.
Right, like fish. I get it. I get the metaphor, dude. Okay, go ahead.
And put them all on a path to sterilization and butchery before they can even talk. Well, that's because that's exactly what these monsters are doing.
Whoa.
And they've done it up until this moment without much resistance from the public.
Exactly.
But that has to end.
Yep.
We have to stop making it so easy on them.
Right.
And that's why I'm in the very early stages of trying to organize a national coordinated effort.
Right.
To fight back against this evil.
Right. And by organize, I mean with a blank face and with posting to social media. Right. Exactly. So this is in August of 2022, and he's saying this to the, let's be honest, who's watching this stuff seriously, Kooks, you know, sorry, not their fault. But that's who watches this crap. Kooks. Lunatics, okay? So he goes on, oh, I'm like Bruce Willis in Die Hard. I'm a badass. This stops right here, right now. Yeah. I'm going to put an end to this. By the way, I'm not leaving the studio. I'm not leaving my air-conditioned studio. But you guys, you go get arrested. So instantly, this Boston Children's Hospital is like death threats, you know, all this crap. All these lunatics are like, yes. All these lunatics took the bait, you know, and acted on it, and then they're harassing this hospital, making an already difficult job more difficult, which again, you know, this is the kind of thing you don't do when you've had a real job, but these guys haven't. That's okay. That's okay. Doing real work is not for everybody.
Oh my goodness.
You know, that's what I believe. And these guys, you know, they were just like, oh, that's not for me. You know, getting a real job. No, it's not. That's not. I'll make that harder. That's what I'll do. So then the hospital, this Boston hospital that he kind of singles out in this video, gets a bomb threat. They get a bomb threat, and it makes the hospital all f***ed up.
TikTok and others had been, you know, accused of maybe calling in the bomb threat ourselves, or at least of encouraging others to do it, even though none of us ever encouraged anything like that. And then the story goes away.
That's great. A month before this video was recorded, he's like, we're putting a stop to this right now.
We have to stop making it so easy on them.
To fight back against this evil.
What these monsters are doing.
Whoa. I'm starting a campaign to stop this. Look at what these sickos are doing. There's kids in cages at this hospital. They're drinking out of one of those little, you know, with the ball. That's what he's putting in the minds of the, you know, less fortunate guys. Come on. People who watch the show. So, of course, they act on this information, and they're like, from what I read, they called the hospital. The person who called in the bomb threat was like, you sickos, I'm putting a bomb in that hospital, you sickos. So that happens, and a month later, the guy who kind of got this ball rolling goes, you know, he's like, I would never encourage anything like this. A month earlier, we're going to put a stop to this. Now he's like, legally, legally, I would never encourage anything like this. I mean, if there's any liability.
Maybe calling in the bomb threat ourselves, or at least of encouraging others to do it, even though none of us ever encouraged anything like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't really get that. If what they're doing is so horrible at this hospital, why wouldn't you want anything that could make it stop?
What these monsters are doing.
Anything to stop it. We got to go around the law on this one because we have to do what's just. But instantly he's like, I would never, if I could get in trouble.
And so my speculation, my theory of the case.
Oh, I want to hear, bro.
Is that this was not a conservative or a critic of gender ideology who called it a threat to Boston Children's.
Right. Of course not.
That wouldn't even make any sense. I mean,
no.
Someone who is actually a critic of what Boston Children's is doing, a critic of gender ideology, you gain nothing. There is no motivation. There is no incentive to call it a bomb threat.
Right.
No incentive.
Nope.
Even aside from the fact that it's obviously a morally wrong, atrocious thing to do.
Yeah, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. A media figure targets a specific hospital. Immediately after that, they get a bunch of death threats and all kind of threats. And then there's a bomb threat. Well, has nothing to do. And then after the bomb threat, same guy posted to Twitter, I would like to know what false alarm means exactly. Police are being coy about it. Plenty of reason to wonder whether false alarm really means leftist hoax. Whoa. So, man, I wonder who this suspect is that the FBI caught, a week ago? Woman charged with threatening Boston Children's Hospital was a huge Trump fan. Oh, no. Oh, wow. Oh! The FBI arrested and charged a Massachusetts woman with allegedly calling in a hoax bomb threat to Boston Children's Hospital in August. We actually have a recording of that call right now from this Massachusetts woman to the Boston Hospital. Yeah, I'm going to come down there with a BAM. I'm going to come down there in my car with a BAM. I don't know, maybe it'll be a car BAM that I'll drive over there in my, you get it. Catherine Levy, 37, was arrested Thursday at her home in Westfield, nearly 2 hours away from the hospital, and charged with willfully making a false bomb threat. On August 30th, Levy allegedly called the hospital and said, "There is a bomb on the way to the hospital. You better evacuate, everybody, you sickos. While not much is currently known about Levy, a woman with the same name in Westfield, Massachusetts, donated to former President Donald Trump's 2020 campaign and the Republican National Committee nearly 150 times over the course of the summer and fall of 2020.
This was not a conservative or a critic of gender ideology who called it a threat to Boston children.
Right. Of course not.
That wouldn't even make any sense.
Matt Welch really got... Crack journalist Matt Welch here. Really crack the case. More hard work from this guy. You know, I look at this guy and I'm like, oh, hospital workers, you know, people who are helping people in need, who need medical care. A guy who makes their job harder, with a blank, dumb face staring into a camera. You know, he wanders into the Daily Wire studio, repeats the talking points, and back to the car. He is the true hero. How is he not the true hero? That's what I don't understand as an American, you know? But that's what makes this whole Vanderbilt thing, you know, the next hospital that they're targeting, even more disturbing. That they're like, hey, we, you know, got a bunch of people at this hospital. We interrupted their jobs, interrupted their work. Then he got on his camera and he's like, beep, 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 backing up. He's like, if I could get in trouble for this. Then it turns out exactly what everybody suspected, that these social media perverts tricked a troubled woman into doing this. And instead of saying, you know what, maybe I'm a parasite on the world. Maybe I'm just a drag on society. Instead of saying that, he's like, where's the next one? Where's the next one? And so here's where this next one is leading to now. Republican lawmakers plan to strip Vanderbilt Hospital of child transgender surgeries. Governor Bill Lee promises an investigation. Wow. Oh, there's a quote here in the article. It says what they can do with that investigation.
Wipe your ass with them.
Jeez, wow. Fueled by a Twitter report, Republican lawmakers are... That's the last thing you want to hear for, you know, people deciding how life in the country is lived. Some guys saw this on Twitter. Fueled by a Twitter report, Republican lawmakers are planning to pass legislation in 2023 to stop Vanderbilt University Medical Center from performing pediatric transgender surgeries. That's America for you right there. We saw this on Facebook. But I will say one thing I do agree with, you know, Ben Chatino and this guy on, is that the profit motive should be taken out. That the profit motive should be taken out of this. You want a transgender surgery? It's free. Free. Paid for. Don't worry about it. Facebook. You know, I watch The Hill Rising, and they say that we should come together on what we do believe. And so I'm coming together with the Daily Wire on this one. This is RM, you know how they do those collaborations, the hype piece? You know, Supreme X Burger King. You know, Palace X, the Weather Channel, whatever, you know, these collaborations. This is RM Brown X Daily Wire. We're coming together. Transgender people, all their surgery, all their healthcare, totally free. Totally free. And we're going to come together on this one. Me and Matt Warch. This is pretty funny. So this is Tennessee, where this whole Vanderbilt thing is taking place. Tennessee, over the years, has been on the front lines among Republican-dominated state houses advancing anti-LGBTQ legislation. Last year, Republican lawmakers and Governor Lee, the same guy, banned doctors from providing gender-confirming hormone treatment to prepubescent minors, even though advocates maintain that no doctor in Tennessee was doing so. We're doing good work. We're spending our time wisely. That really is like a no-show job. Like a governor like that. This guy literally just, like, his job is he wanders around, he shakes somebody's hand, he, like, stares blank for, you know.
It's not just people who work for the UN. It's BlackRock's Larry Fink. So BlackRock, of course, is one of the biggest investment firms on planet Earth. They've run trillions of dollars in assets, which means they have extraordinary levels of control over corporations.
Okay, moving on to a little bit of a separate topic here. This is something that I've been noticing. Like, I've been watching so much of this right-wing nonsense for this channel that I kind of notice, like, waves, like little patterns of stuff that they'll all talk about. And this is one that they've been really talking about a lot. They've been really hitting on, which is they've been talking a lot about BlackRock, which if you don't know what BlackRock is, just look it up. You'll learn a lot about how the world works if you know kind of what's going on with BlackRock. It's a big investment company, and what they're all saying about this is they're like, is they're really pissed off at this company, not because they own everything, not because they own a large, this investment company owns like a large chunk of every company or whatever. They're not worried about that. What they're worried about is that this company is, they're really pissed off that the guy who runs this company is saying things about green energy. That's not that's
I got you, Melody. That makes sense.
According to people like Larry.
Yeah, that makes sense because of the graphic processing. That's kind of what I told James about it too. Like I said, I'm glad they did it like the lo-fi graphics because it's easier on people's computers. If they would have done it like hi-fi graphics, you know, it'd be like playing a video games at all times. There's no way people would linger there. But yeah, appreciate you for jumping in. And yeah, I'm trying to make sure. I'm usually always in Gathertown. The one thing is there's separate spaces. Part of that is because they have limits. Like there can only be like 20 to 25 people in them at a time for the free version. I'll pay for the more expensive version when we need to. But for now, one of the ways around it is to keep them like kind of separate spaces. So yeah, I'm trying to hang around more, and then yeah, I know a lot of people will jump in when they see other people so that they can game with them or chill with them and stuff. But yeah, when I work and stuff, I'll try to come into the office and stuff. And yeah, hopefully I'll catch you in there.
Become cheaper.
This is great because it's like multiple levels down of like weirdness and stupidity. The first thing, so that's the clip that he played is the guy who owns this BlackRock company that owns everything, you know? It's an investment company. I think, probably most people think, all they really care about is making as much money as possible, okay? And they're mostly doing lip service about green energy and all this stuff.
Oh, there's another thing I needed to do.
It puts a nice veneer on the whole enterprise, you know what I mean? Hey, no, we're not just trying to do this.
I don't know what these fatal errors are. It's no big deal.
We're good. We're also
Probably
good.
just because I'm
But then
using
Ben
the app.
Shapiro comes in and says, oh, these people who all they care about is money, the problem is that they're not crazy enough, because even paying lip service to like the environment and all that is wrong and bad. I mean, if I watch this goddamn Ben Shapiro crap seriously, I would be so confused. I would be very confused about how the world works, right? Because in the Ben Shapiro world, we love capitalism. Capitalism is perfect. You know, anybody who says anything bad about it, as we'll see, to say, "Oh, shut the f up, shut your mouth, you're an idiot."
I don't know
but then
if
we
I
don't
put a
like the
place back
profit
to
motive
the
for
university.
healthcare. And now the most capitalist crap ever, BlackRock. We don't like that either.
I just think capitalism is stupid and it doesn't work. I mean, obviously, look at our country. It doesn't work.
Okay, can we pause it there for 1 second?
Uh-huh.
My favorite is when people
All right,
who are wearing things that they bought at a store that are much nicer than anything they could get in a communist country. Capitalism obviously doesn't work. She said while wearing a sweatshirt that she got at a store,
right,
and sunglasses she got at a store, and carrying a purse that she got at a store. Yes, communism is obvious. Just look at our country. It doesn't work. Yes.
Yeah, this all makes sense. This all kind of checks out. I don't like that the assets of an economy are controlled by, you know,
there
a very
are doors
few amount
over
of people.
here.
And,
Okay,
you
so
know,
there's
in
a
the case of
door
BlackRock,
here.
this one guy, I don't like that. I.e., I got a problem with
see.
capitalism.
Okay.
But if we don't have it, then you can't have a sweater like that. Like. By the way, this beautiful. He's like,
people could criticize capitalism, but they have beautiful sweaters like this.
And the sweater it looks like something that you would wear when you like have diarrhea.
He's like, how could you get something that beautiful anywhere else? Look how beautiful that sweater is. Wow. Is she going to a quinceañera in that sweater?
Yeah, so I don't know. I would say, you know, to some of these guys, let's figure out what we believe. You know, let's do a little bit of this, you know. Let's do a little bit of this. Yeah. Let's do a little bit of that, figure things out, and then come back to YouTube. You know what I mean? Morons, idiots. Maybe one of the things you will learn is,
generally speaking, Chinese people look Chinese.
It's a generality. Okay, that's one thing we like to learn about. Generalities and specificalities, you know what I mean?
Let me think.
Well, guys, it's Monday, you know what I mean? Let's not dwell on it. Let's not get too into it, you know? But we hate it. We're disgusted by it. And frankly, we want it to end. That's right.
I want an arrow there.
Don't exist. They don't exist anymore. It's illegal, I think. Guys, hope you're having a good one, okay? And to all the younger viewers, based kickflip to you, okay?
Based kickflip.
Thanks so much for watching, and as always, hey guys, you're only getting a fraction of the weekly shows. If you want a new motherfucking episode every day, subscribe on Patreon for as little as $2.
Alright, y'all know what time it is. It is time to get into some Uncle Bobby. Subscribe to Gin and Truth, man. If you're not subscribed to Gin and Truth, like, I don't know what's wrong with you. And now you got a bigger problem because we're about to start doing a show together this weekend. And on top of that, this nigga's been shouting us out like crazy. Like crazy. This nigga's literally my favorite YouTuber. I'm about to start doing a YouTube show with my favorite YouTuber. What the fuck is going on? I am taking over the goddamn internet. That's what's going on. Fuck out of here. Gin and Truth on YouTube. Go fucking subscribe right now. Don't be dog shit out here. Subscribe to fucking Gin and Truth. I'm stopping the show. The show stopped. How about that? No, yeah, how about this? You ain't subscribed to Gin and Truth? Fuck off. I'm playing a commercial. Go subscribe to Gin and Truth. Come back after the commercial.
Something to take for it. Alka-Seltzer. If Alka-Seltzer can take care of real big upsets, think of what it can do for a simple case of the blahs.
I'm going to show you a new antiseptic skin cleanser that works when it's on and keeps working for 12 hours after you wash it off. Bactine medicated skin cream. It's got the great Bactine germ killer in it, so it cleans your skin right down into the pores, right down to the germs and bacteria that can cause blemishes. After you wash it off, it leaves a soft, invisible film that protects your skin from more germs for 12 hours. Excuse me. Your skin will be antiseptically clean and protected from germs that can damage it for 12 hours. If you use Bactine medicated skin cream morning and night, it really pays off.
All right, gang. Yeah, there's an app, there's a browser. Try each one, see what works better. It might be different under different circumstances. But yeah, it's pretty much Zoom with some extra shit. Also, you may want to, think about what else you have running at the time. I'm sure that makes a big difference. But yeah, no worries. I appreciate you guys trying it out, and definitely let me know how it's going.
All right, gang, let's jump into this shit. Gang, as Uncle Bobby was coming home, I was like, you know what? I had some pretty heavy shit. You know, the world's fucked up. I'm always yelling and screaming. And I'm sitting there like, we had some fun yesterday with like fuckface, red pin logic. Yeah, then of course, one person's joke is a million people's battle cry. Fuckface Matt Walsh. There is no love quite like his Christian hate. Blasphemy Sunday, anger casserole Saturday. Then we went over, fuckface Greg Abbott and fuckface Ron fuckface DeSantis and all the bullshit. It's like, you know what? We need to have a lighter day. So, gang, we're going to step back into time. Yeah, we're going to do another, shit, it's almost hard for me to say this out loud. What are we going to go back about 30 years? So, gang, if you were born in the early 70s like I was, that means you barely remember the 70s. Your formative years were the 1980s. Now, gang, holy shit. I think about the 1980s, just all of it. Holy shit. I really can't think of two things from the 1980s that I want repeated. That was not a fashion era. That was a fashion error. You guys remember, who the fuck thought of parachute pants? You guys remember the fucking desert dog hats that we thought were cool as shit? Half gloves? I mean, what the fuck? You guys remember the movies in the 80s? And I don't say this lightly because there have been articles written on it, how rapey they were. You could not make Revenge of the Nerds, Pretty in Pink. I mean, name them all, right? I think about like the hairstyles. I mean, holy shit. I never had one because of my dad. You know, neither me nor my we knew. We knew. They're just, don't even fucking ask. Don't you even fucking ask. But a Jerry curl? Who the fuck thought that was a good idea? Let's put chemicals in black people's hair so fucking lethal that it's really going to change the texture of their hair. Now, just in case that wasn't fucked up enough, you got to put this fucking curl activator on it constantly. You got to sleep in a curl bag and no one invited you.
Actually, I don't really like this. Let's get rid of everything in here.
You're going to put stains on. Go shut the fuck up. If that little fucker comes over, he stays in the garage. Buddy, where are you going? So again, there are very few things that I loved the 80s. Don't get me wrong. But I just sit back and I look. It's like, I can't think of two things that I would bring into the common era. Now, gang, we're going to jump into this fucked up ass film, and it should be fun. We all deserve a break. We all deserve a fucking laugh. So again, according to my analytics, a lot of you fuck faces were about the same age. So let's have some fucking fun with this fucked up ass video. You guys, it's called 80s, The Forgotten Era. Roll the tape.
The 1980s.
Pause the tape.
Right?
Pause the tape already. So the opening frame, it's the scene, the cast of The Breakfast Club. So you had the burner, the goth girl, the jock, the preppy good-looking girl, and then, of course, you had the nerd. So hold on, can we name them all? Anthony Michael Hall, Molly Ringwald, Emilio Estevez,
No, see in the 90s.
Ali Sheedy,
yeah, me too.
and Judd Nelson. Holy shit. First and foremost, gang, that movie was fucking phenomenal. But add that on the list of things you can't make today. You can't. Like, you really can't. Roll the tape.
Colors, big hair, and lots of flair.
Ah!
If you grew up during that time, then I'm sure you have some fond memories. Some of the items that came out seemed futuristic at the time, but many of them have paved the way for how things are today. In this video, we will have a closer look at some of the facts of the 1980s.
Ah! Hulk Hogan, what are you going to do, brother, when the 24-inch pythons come after you? And he's sitting there and tearing his fucking shirt. Make sure, you little Hulkamaniacs, that you eat your vitamins and say your prayers every night. Who knew Hulk Hogan was a fucking asshole? Again, that's a bad thing about looking up to people. Sometimes they're going to let you down. But holy shit, who didn't want to be a Hulkamaniac? You guys remember WrestleMania when Mr. T hit the scene? Right after Rocky 3, Hulk Hogan and fucking... I'm getting here getting misty-eyed. Gang, I loved Mr. T like there was no fucking tomorrow. Oh, man. What are you going to do, brother? All right, just roll the fucking tape.
The boombox was introduced to the
boombox!
in the 1970s, but it was the 1980s when this became super popular.
Oh, man.
Some of these boomboxes were quite large and about the size of a suitcase. They required 8 to 10 decent...
Pause the tape. Today's kids, please go fuck yourself. All right, this belch. #professional. Gang, the average iPhone is more powerful than and has more capabilities than the computers we used to send people to the moon in the 1960s. You can quite literally hold a fucking concert from this fucking phone. Right? What can't you do? You got a supercomputer in your fucking pocket. In regards to this, you can do Netflix, you can watch TV, play mute. What can't you do on this phone? And you can stick that fucker in your pocket. You guys remember the fucking boombox? It was a contest to see whose was bigger. Bigger is better. Now, we didn't have a lot of money, which means no one around us had a lot of money. Okay, the only person that had a boombox was fucking Louis, right? And oh man, we like, you're the coolest thing ever. And oh yeah, for us it was fucking Planet Rock, Africa Boombada. And you sit there and you fucking break. My mom hated it when I would break dance because it would tear my back up. I was going, because you always had the fucking contest, right? 1, who could backspin the longest, and 2, who could egg roll the longest. Gang, Uncle Bobby wasn't losing that goddamn contest. I did not care how much blood I fucking shed. So you sit there and you play African Body or Planet Rock or some Fat Boys. The Fat Boys are back. It didn't matter. Oh, you thought you could egg roll for a long time? You can go fuck yourself. Roll the tape.
Cell batteries, which would last 6 to 8 hours, depending on whether or not you were using the cassette player.
Oh yeah.
If you had one of these,
pause the tape. You guys remember how sad it was? How did you know that those batteries were running down? Right? Again, you kicked it and it was a little Africa Boombada. Right? And you instead of it would slow down. You were sad than a motherfucker because 1, your parents got tired of buying those goddamn D-cells. Those were the expensive joints. Y'all remember that shit? And you knew you had to cut a shit ton of grass to earn the allowance money so you can get more. And it wasn't like today's kids. Hey, Mom, can you do the Venmo $200? Oh, let's make it $350. You'll be fine. Go fuck yourself. You were fucking working on the railroad on the live long day. Just for like 25 cents every other fucking week. You had to work from now until 6 Christmases ago from now just so you can get the money for those fucking D-cells. You guys remember that shit? Today's kids, go fuck yourself. Roll the tape.
Maybe you cranked up Van Halen or Bon Jovi, but there's a good chance that it was playing Run DMC, LL.
Pause the tape. Who was this fucking video for? Bon Jovi and Van Halen? Which is phenomenal, by the way. You didn't play that shit in the Park Village neighborhood. I can guarantee you that. If you would have cranked out some fucking Van Halen, you would have gotten your monkey ass beat up. Have you not heard Fab Five Freddy? Fuckface? Fat Boys? What's going on? Houdini? Run DMC? LL Cool J? Huh? You're gonna sit there and play a little I Go to Work by Cool Mo D? What the fuck's the matter with you? What the fuck is a Van Halen? You just call me a nigga. What'd you say? You gonna sit there, shut the fuck up. You played nothing but the rap jams. That's what a fucking ghetto blaster was for. Go fuck yourself. Roll the tape.
J or the Beastie Boys. The boombox was heavily associated with urban communities, which is where it got the nickname Ghetto Blaster. Some cities tried to ban the stereos from being used in public
places. They did. Pause the tape. Absolutely. They tried to ban the Ghetto Blaster when I was a kid. And gang, you can't do it. It was the equivalent, I think of maybe it was the late 90s or the early 2000s. Again, I'm so late to the game, I finally found out what it meant. Whale tail, you guys know what that is? It became the fashion statement where you wear your jeans, girls, and you'd see the top of their underbritches, right? And there was like, well, maybe we should, ban that, cut a ticket. And it was like, you can't do that. Seriously, you can't. You have no idea the firestorm you would start if you started giving tickets because you can see a little girl's underwear. Please go fuck yourself. Same thing here. You could not ban the Ghetto Blaster. There was no way to even come close to even thinking about enforcing those rules. So they actually did talk about banning the Ghetto Blaster when I was a kid. Total fail. Roll the tape.
Acceptable on city streets. However, this was a necessary item when you were b-boying or b-girling and showing off your latest moves. The boombox culture reached its peak in 1986 with 20.5 million units sold. Fast forward to 2003, and there were only 329.
Pause the tape. We never had it. We saw it on TV, but again, some of you are going to be too young and be like, what's a ghetto blaster? Shut the fuck up. The carrying strap. You guys remember that? Yeah, because he's not bullshitting. Some of them joints were the size of a small, buddy. Oh, there he is. Small suitcase. And them joints were big as shit. You just had to do bicep curls with them and shit. And so it was like a guitar strap. And sure enough, you put that shit across you, and it would just hang on your hip. Now, we never had that, right? But holy shit. But again, 30 years ago, I can't believe I can say that. Actually, a little bit over 30 years ago, the bigger, the better. Now, again, we have supercomputers.
I put this
in
all in
our
the wrong
pockets.
office. All
Back
of it.
then,
Yeah, my
your
office is
shit
over
was-
here.
Again,
damn it.
we knew better than to even ask. I didn't have a ghetto blaster. You know what I had? A tape recorder. Y'all think I'm bullshitting. Yeah, the tape recorder was about this big. Right. And then, oh man, I would say I got clowned, but I never took that shit outside. I knew better. And then they stepped me up, and actually, it was about as big as this. Podcasters just act like you fucking saw it. And it was a AM radio and a tape deck. And then
Actually, need to move this.
I don't know what you're playing, maybe a little Michael Jackson. Like, the audio was fucking awful. And that was the first one I took outside.
So
and
they got
I
that extra
still got
cubicle in
clowned
here.
for it. Now, by today's standards, like, oh, mommy, I got bullied. Don't worry, son. I'm going to get Johnny Cocker. We're going to sue him and put him in jail. No. You know what we used to say when I was a kid? I'm not even close to bullshit. We take your cuts like a man. Right? In other words, sit there and we're going to fucking insult you. And you just sat there, and you took it, and it made your skin thick. Right? Again, especially when you fucked up. Right? No one was there to protect your monkey ass. And like, Damon, you know you fucked up. Just go on and take your cuts like a man. And I knew. But goddamn it, I wanted to listen to what I wanted to listen to. So I went out there with my piddly ass shit, and it was like, Chris, go on and take your cuts like a man. And I did. I absolutely did. Today's kids, go fuck yourself. Roll the tape.
1,000 units sold. Personal listening devices such as the Walkman and the Discman were responsible for the decline of the boombox. Today,
So these have more space, but I put mine. I wanted one here so you could have someone, a guest, work with you.
Breakdancing is a form of hip-hop dancing that appeared to defy human bendability
All right.
and gravity. It was
breaking! I loved breaking. Gang, I would play some of the music, but again, my channel's growing. Thank you so much. I'm not going to get hit with demonetization.
Not gonna get hit with demonetization.
Groundbreaking.
I don't give a shit.
Ozone and Turbo. You guys remember that?
I think I'm good.
And it was the second one, right? Was that Electric
Oh,
Boogaloo?
let me check the
where they had the girl, the ballet
arcade
dancer,
entrance.
like the one white girl who wanted to dance with the black dudes, right? And that's when we had Ding Dada by George Crunch. Ding Dada. That was fucking fantastic. Oh, fuck me in the ass sideways. And we all get that's when the competition got fucking fierce.
All right, we're good.
Again, today's
I think
kids,
I
you're like,
added
what are you talking about?
let's check the
Go do
bar
another
out.
video, right? Go, I don't know what the fuck's popular. I don't even know who gives a shit. Go fuck yourself.
Good,
You guys remember the
good.
good old days where no matter what the fucking
Good.
argument was, it could always be settled with the pop locking competition. Go fuck yourself. Right? We would do, I mean, it'd be a fake beef, but oh yeah, we'd get teams and shit, and you sit there and you do the fucking routine that you saw on the fucking thing, then there would be their turn and my turn, and then it was like, oh yeah, oh, breaking? Oh, go fuck yourself. That was we may have to risk demonetization, gang. Uncle Bobby may have to play Dean Dada before the end of this fucking video. It's one of my favorite songs. Roll the tape.
Labeled it as breakdancing.
All right, let's chill. We're good.
No, the egg roll! The egg roll! Go fuck yourself! The egg roll. This is why. Oh yeah. Again, we used to have the fucking competitions, but
I keep hitting back.
We were so fucking stupid.
Right,
we did not know, even though we sat there and we saw it on the screen. Fuck nuts. Put the goddamn cardboard on the ground. But we would have the You guys ready? Hey, hold on, let's roll this fucked up ass tape.
It was originally called breaking, but the media labeled it as breakdancing. This art form seems to have originated in Bronx, New York during the 1970s, but it was the 1980s when it exploded all over the world. B-boys and B-girls would face off in...
Pause the tape. That's the egg. I don't know what you guys called it. Whatever it is, it's wrong. I guarantee it. That shit was the egg roll. And goddamn it, you would just sit there. And again, there was no fucking iPhone timers. Go fuck yourself, today's kids. Right? You just sat there, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and you would just sit there and count. Now, I just heard him say, yeah, hold on. The whole competition, yeah. Long before Boys in the Hood, real beef got squashed with a fucking
We're playing
dance
a game. You're going to the game room.
You don't know nothing about it. Just roll this fucked up ass tape.
Art form seems to have
You go
originated
to the
in Bronx,
back
New
of
York
the
during
game room
1970s,
where
but it
only
was
the coolest of the
1980s
cool
when it exploded
kids
all over the
go.
world. B-boys and B-girls would face off in an impromptu dance competition where the only things needed were cardboard and a boombox. Oh, and
goddamn right.
Practice.
You goddamn
These highly
right.
talented and athletic dancers spent hours and hours perfecting their skills.
Yep.
Soon recess became a time when kids were
Parked. I'm parked in the pinochle room.
Pause the tape. If
Oh,
you
let's
did
do
not
it,
get
y'all.
into a worm race or
Let's do
caterpillar
it.
race,
Let's stop playing, Uncle
unsubscribe from my
Bobby.
channel. You are a
Uncle Bobby,
horrible
we love you,
person.
but please go fuck yourself. I gotta make sure they're indoctrinated. Indoctrinated. One more time, guys. Here it is. This is the third time. Probably the last time we'll do it
There
on
is
channel.
a scoring.
It's early.
The rules
Let's
of the
do it.
game. Well, there are many rules of the game. There is a scoring rule that says that most of the.
When you go to the Pinochle Lounge, you click on this playlist, then you click on Pinochle Classic. Let's get our Pinochle We'll get our Pinochle Classic going as we go.
Standard games are 500 points. Now, that 500 points has nothing to do with the points in spades. 500 points, you earn points for your hand, you earn points for your bid. Now, before we go any further, if we take a deck of cards and we shuffle them, and this is a deck of 80 cards.
Trick taking and meld. Trick taking is passing the cards, figuring out who's got the winning card in each book or trick, as they call it. Melding is what happens before the hand starts, when you get points based on the combinations of cards that are in your hand.
Cards, may I add. We're going to deal. Now, these
Y'all
may not
start, I
come
know
as a
some of y'all
perfect
starting
shuffle,
to feel it. Y'all like,
but we'll
oh,
certainly
I'm
do
starting
our
to get
best
this,
to.
Jay. I know y'all starting to get it.
If we deal these one at a time, we'll be forever in 3 Sundays.
Which I
trying
gotta
to deal
do
every
first,
hand
y'all.
out. So what they do in tournaments is that you're allowed
Gotta
to deal
switch your
4 or
hand.
5 at a time.
Step number 1,
It
switch your
just
hand.
speeds up the process.
Let's go ahead and get it going. Let's go ahead and get it going. How do you get it going, folks? You don't know how to get it going? Look, it's right here. This is the playlist that we're watching. Watch playlist to learn the game. Boom. Play Pinochle Classic on easy mode to practice against bots. It tells you to use the hints. Play harder levels to challenge your skills. Boom. Here we go. Start a game. Easy mode. There it is. Every time. Real easy. Real easy. There's sound on this? I don't think there's even any sound on this. Cool. All right. But you can see already, you start left to right, high to low. Ace 10, all the way through the jack. Remember that the 10 is higher than the king. The order is ace, 10, king, queen, jack. 10s are higher than kings.
Unless you're like me and you have a hard time counting 4 cards in the deal. But we need to look at illustrative hands, because without that, we're not really going to understand the basics and principles of the game.
Repeated exposure is the key.
Well, we have 5 cards here, but I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. I must have slipped on one, but that's okay. When we open up our hand, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 21. So we'll assume that there's an odd card here, which is fine. Okay, what we want to do is identify exactly what's going on here. So we want to take our hand and we want to sort it according to the rank and order of the cards that we have. And you really have to do this for each suit. And this is the way, this is all of the spades that I have, okay? You will not get anywhere in Pinochle if you don't sort your hand properly. You got 20 cards. So it'll be absolutely a very miserable time trying to track what you've got. And I prefer to alternate the suits because it just makes life easier. King, queen, and then we take the club suit. I don't mean to spread this out too much.
Remember, you're usually doing this in your hand because you can't show your cards to other people, so you're just sitting there rearranging your cards. He's just showing us laying it out on the table, but that's exactly how you do it. You just take it one suit at a time, lay them all out next to each other, and sort your hand. Always by suit, in order.
Sort head.
I recommend do it exactly the way you see it in the game. Matter of fact, if you really want my recommendation, do it in the same order. Spades, hearts, clubs, diamonds. Spades, hearts, clubs, diamonds. Spades, hearts, clubs, diamonds. Always left to right, high to low.
Pinochle hand should look, okay? This makes it easier for you to evaluate the hand, okay? Now, we're going to get into the melding table, and we're going to get into other aspects of the game, but before you start, before you evaluate your hand, you absolutely have to sort the hand out by suit. And if we look here, we have...
You don't need to remember what suit order, just alternate black and red.
So once you get that done, we can then go to the next section of the lecture.
It just eventually helps to keep everything in the same order.
Okay, so this is our first step, and sort the hand out, then we'll get into the bidding process. One thing that's very integral to the game of Pinochle is the, it isn't a concept, it's the rule about counters. So if we want to look at a hand, and we'll look at our illustrative hand here, I will remove the cards that are not counters. If we're looking at the spade suit, these aren't counters. That's not a counter.
Aces,
and
kings,
these aren't
tens.
counters, and this is not a counter. Now, regardless of whether you declare the hand, or your partner declares the hand, or the opponent declares the hand, these cards, when they're discarded or led, and you're winning the trick, or your partner's winning the trick, and you discard or throw this card onto your partner's trick, and we'll go into the specific play of the hand and play of the suits. That's a counter. How many counters are there? Well, we know that there's 4 aces in every suit, okay? So if there are 4 aces in every suit, that makes 16 aces. 16 points, 16 counters. Then we have 16 kings and 16 tens. 16 times 3 is 48, and whoever takes the last trick in the hand gets a bonus, a premium of 2 points. How critical are counters? They're very critical. In most variations of the game, you absolutely have to have 20 points in declared meld in order to be able to be eligible to get additional points.
20
counters,
in meld,
you are
20 in
rewarded for
counters.
counters that you take, but you absolutely must have 20 points in meld, and we'll cover that later. Counters, 48 counters per hand, bonus of 2 points for taking the last trick. Those 50 counters combined with your meld bid determine whether or not you make your declared bid. That's what we were talking about previously. So keep in mind 50 points, 48 counters, and last trick. So in order to bid beyond the 60 level.
So you need to take that into consideration when you start to bid. There are only 48 counters on the table, so you start to really have to be dominant if you're going to get, you know, a lot of counters.
You need to have an awful lot of meld to support you, because even if you stopped at 60 and you only had 20 meld, you have to take 40 counters. So there is a relationship, and here's a score sheet, and I'll just show you what I'm talking about. If your side has bid 60, right, and you have 35 meld, you need 25 counters to make that bid. You absolutely have to get 25. If you don't have 25 counters, you will not make your bid. So keep in mind, the stronger the meld you have in your hand, the more room you have for bidding. For example, if we had 150 meld, we had a double run in a suit, that's a powerful hand. Now we have lots of room, because all we have to do is make our 20 meld, that's the basic requirement. We save our 20 meld, 150 points is going to pick up an awful lot of room for error if we fall short on counters. That is, if we don't have more than, if we have the minimum of counters, that's fine. We absolutely have to have 20, and that's the key number. So again, meld, bidding, and counters, very important, and you should remember those combinations. There are 3 basic groups of meld. There are runs and marriages. That's a group. There are pinocchles, that's a group, and there are rounds. The groups are compatible.
Don't forget those groups, right? Runs and marriages, then the pinocchles, then the arounds, and that's how you assess your hand. We look for runs. There are no runs, but we look for marriages. There's a marriage in spades. Marriage is the king and queen in the same suit. No other marriages. Then we go to pinochle. Pinochle is always the queen of spades and the jack of diamonds. Queen of spades, jack of diamonds. We have one pinochle. Then we look for the arounds. We don't have ace in all suits. We don't have a king in all suits. We don't have a queen in all suits. We do have a jack in all suits. So we've got 2 for the marriage, 4 for the pinochle, that's 6, 4 for the jacks, that's 10. We've got 10 points in meld.
With each other, with the exception of the fact that you can't double claim a marriage in trump suit. So when we talk about type 3, we're talking strictly arounds. Okay.
Also, I found out my boss plays pinochle today. I said, oh, yeah, my favorite game, the pinochle. I was showing him. I showed my boss the People's Choice Pinochle Lounge. He said, oh, yeah, I know it well. I was like, oh, shit. Oh, shit, Mike. Oh, shit, man. Let's do this.
We have 4 aces here, but we don't have 4 different aces. So we really, and I should put this in the order that it should appear, and it makes life a little easier. That's the way you should always sort your suits, ascending to descending. It just makes it so much easier to determine count. Okay, very important. If you're going to have all the black suits together, you're going to get mixed up. You might even renege. Type 3 is arounds. Kings around, 8 points. Queens around, 6 points. Jacks around. Now, sometimes a card can do dual duty. It can be part of kings around. You see, we got king, 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 right? That's around, and it can be part of a marriage. It really doesn't matter. But you can't have a king with 2 queens. You shouldn't have that in real life either. But you can't have a king with 2 queens because he can't marry both queens. He can only marry 1 queen, so that's the restriction. But type 3, 4 different kings, 4 different aces, 4 different queens, 4 different jacks. That's all you have to know. You can learn the counts, and start to memorize those. Getting started.
The counts for the round start at 10. Remember, all you got to remember is that aces start at 10. Everything else is 2 points down. So aces, having an ace in every suit is worth 10. Aces around. Kings around, king in every suit, 8. Queens around, queen in every suit, 6. Jacks around, jack in every suit, 4. There's nothing for 10s around. There's no such thing.
To look at a pinochle deck, which is 80 cards. That's a lot of cards. And we're going to show you exactly how these cards will be dealt and so forth.
Most games have a melding table that will show you this when you're
we're
practicing.
talking about is partnership pinochle. The other games are good. You might like single deck. There's rules that are available on the Bicycle card game site or on any of the search engines. Firstly, you play as partners. It's the same structure as in any other partnership card game. Excuse me. One team here, one team here, one team who plays the hand, declares the trump, will be defended or will be opposing the other team, who will do everything in their power to try to set them or at least get as many points as they can. And then we have the other situation where we have another team over here. If they're declaring the hand, then you will be trying to set them or get as many points as you can. So the basic structure: 4 players at one table and 20 cards. Now, if we want to look at the suits in pinochle, and there are 4 of them, I just want you to look at this particular suit here. That's right. Okay, for the sake of looking at a fresh hand, we're going to just kind of do a quick review and then talk about the auction. I want you to really, as a matter of fact, if you have time, get a double pinochle deck, make sure it's 80 cards, and practice dealing out hands. Practice evaluating hands, because if you're going to go play live tournaments, they're not going to let you sit and look at a table. They're not going to let
Again, guys, the way to practice evaluating hands, you can actually do it right here in the Pinochle Lounge. All you do, you press X, you bring up Pinochle Classic, you start a game, easy, you evaluate the hand. Again, no run, no run. There's a run, no run. Marriages, 1 marriage in hearts, a marriage in clubs. But it's part of the run, so there's no extra marriage. So you got the 15 here, 17 plus 2 for that marriage. Queen of spades, no queen of spades, so there's no pinocles. And then you go to, are there aces around? No, no ace of hearts. Are there kings around? No. Are there queens around? No. Are there jacks around? No. So, done. And then you go right here. Start a game. Easy. Do it all over again. Evaluate the meld. Start a game. Easy. Evaluate the hand, right? Because when you get to play the house rules, you're actually only going to have 15